Hello everybody, Taylor Davis, again with BMW Cleveland. Welcome to another Bring a Trailer auction. We have previously sold a BMW 2002 on here. Wanted to have an opportunity to walk around this car. It's our 1991 E34 M5. It's a special car. Don't really know why we're selling it, honestly. Just to, make room for a couple other things. I mean, yeah, I don't know why I'm selling it, honestly, because I'm just going over it. But wanted to take an opportunity to walk around the car with you, sort of point out a couple, couple great things about it, maybe, any flaws that people would point out in the comments section and get ahead of anything. So with that being said, let's sort of get started walking around the car. 91 M5, really did not make many of these and bring these into the US. It was only available from 91 to 93, so 91, 92, 93 in the US. This is probably the lowest mileage one I've ever seen. It's only got, as you can see, 51,000 miles. I bought this car a little over a year ago from a guy on BMW CCA classifieds. And actually I found out when I submitted the car for Bring a Trailer that this car had been submitted and actually sold on Bring a Trailer back in 2019, but the buyer who won the bid didn't end up following through the transaction. So the guy I bought it from was actually the person who listed it on Bring a Trailer originally. As you can see, sort of in the description and with the service records I've provided and everything, the car's had a lot of work done to it. We did a lot of work to it at our dealership and sort of, refreshed it in a lot of ways. But just walking around the car honestly looks awesome now. So the car, to get out in front of it, the car has definitely been repainted. When I got the car, I was not happy with how the paint looked. It's originally a jet black car, so it's the right color, but the paint looked just not good. It looked like it had been repainted, like it was obvious. So I actually had the guy who does a lot of our body work wet sand the entire car, and it came out awesome. So honestly, I think the paint honestly looks better than OEM now. Like there's literally no orange peel. The paint looks really good. I actually had the car paint corrected and ceramic coated after the wet sanding was done. So the car has a G-Technique ceramic coating on it. Water just falls off and there's really barely any swirls, any scratches or anything. So the paint looks really good overall. As we're walking around the car, I'm going to point out sort of, any flaws. Like I said, if I was buying a car online, what would I want? This is what I would want. So right here, I don't know if this is from when they taped it, when they repainted it, whatever, but like you can see there's something right there, a mark in the paint. I actually just noticed it today when we were taking photos. Other than that, walking on this side, everything is good. I did have some dents taken out, PDR performed on the car. Nothing to report here, really. Walking around the back, nothing to report. There's like a scratch here, but the paint really, it looks awesome now. I'm really happy with how it looks. But when the car was repainted, you can see sort of like on some of the shut lines, like it just doesn't look perfect. So I want to be sort of upfront. This car is not perfect, but it's a damn nice one. And it's getting harder and harder to find nice E34s. And this is true mileage. It's not, if you look at the Carfax, it's not a rollback, anything like that. This car really was, maintained really well and is a low mileage car, original. So walking on this side, nothing really there is, quite a bit of curb rash on this wheel in particular. I did not want to refinish these wheels because I know M parallels are really hard to get that polished look back. So I left it. If the next person wants to, have the wheels refinished, you absolutely could. So I guess, the other thing, talking about the wheels is obviously M parallels. People will point out, I'm sure in the comments, M parallels are not original to the 91s. The 91s got the M system, the turbine wheels, which the spare in the trunk you'll see in the photos is actually an M system or whatever it's called, the turbine system wheel. It just doesn't have the cover. M parallel is the best BMW wheel ever. So like, I'm very happy with these wheels. I'm gonna leave them, and it's up to the next owner, whatever they'd like to do. The car overall, honestly, is really great. I get a lot of compliments on it when I drive it. It's a car I always look back at when I walk away. And I think the thing I was really shocked by, which I'll do a driving video too, I was really shocked by how this car drives. To me, it's the right size, right? And this is the last 6-cylinder M5, the last hand-built M5 by BMW M. And, it definitely just feels really solid today. It feels like the right size. and again, you can look below in the service records. I'm not going to go over every single thing we did because you can read and actually see for yourself what we did. But once we redid those, we put the new Bilstein front struts in, it changed the car. The car just feels so good, so planted, and we tightened the steering box, and that made the car feel a lot more communicative. But just walking around the outside, some cosmetic things. We put the new Michelin Pilot Sport 4S's on there. The date codes are in the photos. 235, 40, 18 front, 255, 35, 18 rear. Best tire out there. Such a good tire. We painted the brake calipers black and put new anti-rattle clips so you can see the calipers. And we actually had the calipers off the car. So we painted them, did a really nice job. That was all 4 calipers. I put new M5 badges on it. So as a BMW dealer, we've been struggling. And this is not just a sticker. This was a brand new M5 badge. So as a BMW dealer, we've been struggling with getting parts, okay? Our facing warehouse, which is in Manuka, didn't have rotors for an X3, didn't have a lot of the things we needed, but they had M5 badges. The rear one, which is fine, but also, if we walk to the front, they had the badge for the grill, which is ridiculous that I can't get rotors for an X3, but they were like, yeah, we'll get this to you tomorrow. So this is brand new OEM BMW front grill badge. Makes a big difference. I love that they do that, and now that they went back to it as well. Walking around and looking at the interior, this car, I think, lived most of its life in Georgia, and you can definitely tell in some ways with the seats. So I've used a lot of leather conditioner and they've come back quite a bit, but the leather definitely is a little dry in places, but overall still looks really good. The shift knob is original and still lights up, which is cool. Honestly, there are very little things that don't work on this vehicle. The E34s I've seen don't have this full leather, which is cool. So you got this leather here, you got this ruched leather. A lot of that's just vinyl on ones I've seen. Looking at the wood here, you can definitely see some cracking. And that makes me think, it's gotta be from the heat in Georgia, just cracked some of the wood on the dash looks fine. But some of the things just, it looks like it's definitely had some sun damage. And looking, speaking of sun damage, if we look at the rear here, the rear parcel shelf, I was gonna take it out and have it reupholstered, but I figured that's something the next buyer can do depending on what they wanna do, if they wanna do an Alcantara headliner, whatever. But the headliner itself looks good, which you can see in the photos. One other thing the car has had done, this must have really just taken a beating from the sun because the whole rear seat has been reupholstered. They did a nice job. I mean, I love the white stitching, whatever. So that has been reupholstered. That's not original to the car, but it's got the bread box. It opens and closes perfectly like you can see in the photos. Yeah, I mean, overall, and also when you shut the door on these cars, like it's just, it's a different sound. And then looking on the interior, the power seats work, everything works. We had the radio recoded, that works, the trip computer works, the air conditioning blows cold, we had it recharged. Cruise control works as well, and the seats, they tilt, they go up and down, and believe it or not, yes, the thigh bolsters work. So one other thing we did do, which you can see on the RO, is these have the issue with the twisting seats where the cable gets stuck. So we fixed that, so now both seats go up and down perfectly. I'm trying to think if there's really anything else to go over in this video. I'll start it up. I have the key, we have one key with it. Let's get the key out. No pixels out in the dash or anything. Start her up here. I did do a Super Sprint section 1, 2, and 3 exhaust, which you can see in the photos. So full exhaust from header back. I did go catless. This car is over 25 years old. It's not subject to emissions testing, and it just helps the motor breathe a little better. And if you want to come take a look at the gauges, as you can see, true today, 51,576 miles. You can see the oil temp gauge works. It's warmed up. I can do a cold start videos if you guys are interested, but it cold starts perfectly. Then just maybe to hear it a little bit if you want to walk back there. And to me it just sounds like a motorsport engine now, like it's just very cool. But I think that's really it. One other cool thing, I mean, I'll show, it's in the photos, but, or actually, sorry, it's in the glove box. Walk around here with me, sorry. window sticker, right? So it's amazing. I mean, so as you can see, true to the Carfax, it was delivered in Maryland, and the only option was heated front seats, which I'm shocked because I would have thought there would have been an addition for extended leather or something. But yeah, it's just cool, like all the details you can read on this. Original price of $58,750, which per the inflation calculator is like 130 grand today. So yeah, crazy, crazy, crazy. Yeah. All right, so I think that's probably gonna do it. If you guys have any questions, just, you know, obviously feel free to, you know, comment below. I'll be happy to answer any questions that anybody has. This is definitely a special car. It's got to be the lowest mileage one in the country. I haven't seen a lower mileage one. And, you know, mechanically, we've done everything so this car is in really, really good shape. It starts right up, it drives great, shifts great, all those things. So we'll do a driving video next. But again, if anybody has